Back on NFL Daily, Patrick's with me on the Sunday night recap shows, and the way we tape it, we finish taping, and then I race over to our film room here at NFL Network, where Chris Rose usually is, and maybe MJD, and you get to watch the Sunday night football game. Like I want to be racing through this recap because I want to get to Cowboys-Steelers. I'm into this matchup.
Yeah, it's Sunday night football in Pittsburgh, where the Steelers are a 2.5-point favorite against the Dallas Cowboys. It's, Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth on the call. We'll be waiting all day for Sunday night. And Steve, this is a offense that doesn't want to run the ball, can't run the ball if they did want to, against the number one rushing efficiency defense in all of football.
Yes, and we know how good that Pittsburgh defense is, and the Cowboys. I'm surprised this number is only 2.5. We were talking before the show, like, okay, this is what it is, but then you think about this is Dallas's strength really plays into Pittsburgh's strength. Pittsburgh's got more strengths in this game against Dallas. Like you said, the Cowboys aren't going to be able to run the football against the Steelers. That's not going to happen. So now Dak's going to be one-dimensional. CeeDee Lamb's going to get all the attention. We know the Archer is out, right? The speedster, Brandon Cooks is out. Is not playing in this game. All right, what's Dallas's left hand offensive?
Shout out to Weish's brain for coming up with the Archer.
The Archer, the nickname, but not the actual name.
I don't know if everyone knows him as the Archer, but that is a good one.
And also there was an error where he got to fire the arrow, but then he got a letter. Right?
Fine.
And so he just was able to pull the arrow back, but not actually let go of it.
The friend of the show, Danny Heifetz, made a great point that the Buccaneers literally shoot cannons and the Patriots shoot muskets out of guns when they score a touchdown. So I don't know. It's a little hypocritical there.
Chargers shoot cannons too. But I'm just like, so what is Dallas's offensive left hand? Right? What are they going to go to? Because they're going to lock up CeeDee Lamb. I mean, is it a big Jake Ferguson? Great. The Pittsburgh Steelers would love that. Right? I just don't see Dallas putting up a lot of points. And Patrick, as you brought up, no D-Law, no Micah. It's already a bad run defense. What do the Steelers do? I mean, seriously, Justin Fields might have like 9 passing attempts in this game.
They hope that they can get their running game a little more consistent. I love that I saw some more design runs and Fields scrambling more last week. He just hadn't been doing it the first 3 weeks, and that can get their offense juiced. Look, the Colts threw the ball pretty well against the Steelers. I mean, they have an offensive line to do it. Is a Cowboys offensive line, can they hold up? Probably not as well as the Colts did, but I think you can find holes in the Steelers secondary. Patrick Queen has been struggling for them in terms of his coverage ability. Some miscommunications there where the players were like yelling at each other last week. And you think like, oh, well, everyone's just going to focus on CD. Like CD's gone. I mean, CD, they should be able to figure out how to help get him open, but they are almost last in the league in motion rate. There's some talk, we're back to Green Bay where everyone's complaining about Mike McCarthy not being able to scheme players open. And if you listen to the beat writers that are on there, it just feels like there's a little more player grumbling that maybe CD and Dak aren't exactly on the same page with their coach. They're on the same page with each other, but not necessarily with what's going on with the offense.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people do a lot of reading into sideline frustration. Losing is not fun, right? Losing isn't fun, and CD is of course used to scoring a lot of points. This Cowboys offense has traditionally been good, and a lot of that relies on Dak Prescott and his ability at the line of scrimmage. But it feels like the whole plane is built out of that right now. And every single first down the Dallas Cowboys get, it's like he's doing particle physics back there.
You're right.
To not just diagnose the defense, but he's weaving out of 3 and 4 people and like getting back shoulders to Jalen Tolbert. And it's just like it's hard to imagine it being consistently sustainable on the road in Pittsburgh.
I agree. I'm torn on who to pick this game. I'm not ready to do so just because I think the Steelers have their sense of flaws and their offense.
Sure.
Like Justin Fields is playing like a top 10 to 15 quarterback right now, and yet the offense is still pretty rough around the edges. So that's asking a lot out of him. I trust Dak more to make more with less. But to back up what you're saying about Dak, I love it when you have nice, nerdy statistical backup for points that we just see with our eyes. So everything seems hard for this Cowboy offense. The Cowboys are first or last, depending on how you look at it, in tight window throw rate. So just the smallest windows that Dak's thrown into, and this goes along with it. They are last in separation, overall average separation for their wide receivers. So everything's condensed.
That is interesting. I would have never thought that. I wouldn't, but that again, that goes
because you got one guy that can get open, and that guy's getting doubled, and then everyone else in the scheme, and
But even like Brandon Cooks, like the Archer. I mean, this guy's a speed burner. He's supposed to be getting behind people.
So he's out for this game, as you mentioned. I think he'd been playing through something.
That must be
because they said he stayed in New York to get a procedure, and he did not look right this year. The one thing I just want to say is I want more of Darnell Washington.
Yes.
Oh my God.
280 pounds coming at you. From
Seeing him run down the sideline and his other touchdown catch, build the whole plane out of Fields and Darnell Washington, and I'm entertained. Let's go. I just want more.
This is a perfect game for him to get going.
It's all Georgia trio.
There you go.
Darnell Washington and Justin Fields making it work. But, I mean, you mentioned Dak. Dak's always going to be high on the tight window throw percentage because he takes those chances and he makes those reads and he can make those throws. But just how much of it do you want? Like, where are the layups in this offense? And maybe without Brandon Cooks, there's more Kevontae Turpin. They get action in the screen game. Put Turpin out wide, but who knows, man? It's a tough watch. And then Jerry's telling Jane Slater this week that they're out on Devontae. There's no more money in Texas. Apparently, they can't.
I mean, what are they doing, man?
A lot of cap space, by the way.
I think that there's
they have a ton of cap space.
Yeah,
No, there is. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You can look at it.
Yeah, they've got cap
actually
space.
they have among the most cap space in the league.
Like, why wouldn't you want to get? You could say what you want about Devontae Adams, man. That dude is a dog. He is a grinder. He practices hard. That's the type of dude you need to set an example for everybody on that roster.
And I think Devontae could move a few jerseys. It makes sense. It makes sense to me.
The real purpose,
But
the real mission.